Happy Dork Discourse Tuesday, everybody. Happy Acolyte Tuesday, everybody. And most importantly, happy birthday to Tom, who's still playing the stream on his phone.
I was. Stream
giving us those extra views. And holy shnikes, happy kicking things off with a super chat from none other than Danny. Holy smokes.
Danny!
Jesus. Just wanted to kick off the night with some positive vibes. Thank you, Danny. We're going to need them. People can say what they want. I'm just excited for the mythos of Star Wars to grow and expand and get some different legs to walk on. I hope everyone enjoys. Danny, thank you so much for starting us off with not only such a generous donation as always. Dude, you are so freaking generous. Yeah. And you tolerate the fact that we opened up your name with a Shining reference every single time we see you here. You tolerate us still, and we didn't scare you away, and you've been nothing but generous and supportive, and thank you so much for kicking things off with these positive vibes. Hello, everybody. Everybody's showing up and out today. New faces. The gang's all here. Yeah. Everyone's excited. Yeah. Everybody is excited. Mandalorian Legion, Elwood, Queen Alice, Sean, Stanley's, Charlie, Jason Olsen, of course, Danny, Sal, Troy, Rockero, Drez, Lord Fowl. Oh my gosh, everybody's here. Julian, I see.
Yeah, whole crew, whole gang.
Guys, it looks like everybody is excited about the Acolyte. Oh my gosh. So, should disclaim, the universe sensed that it was also not only the debut, but Tom's birthday approaching. And so, as some of you guys might have seen, I posted on Twitter that we were able to actually go. Nathan's here too. Let's go. Party has started. So as some of you guys might have seen also on the Star Wars official accounts, they teamed up with Fandango to do an early screening and early release at select theaters across the states. Luckily, we live in a very populated urban area, so we had many theatrical options to go, and we were able to reserve a spot and actually go and see the first 2 episodes last night at our local theater. So,
No, we've seen it.
that said,
Long story short, as of 24 hours ago, we saw the first 2 episodes of The Acolyte.
that said though,
So this is going to be spoiler free.
well, obviously, yes.
Obviously, spoiler free.
Obviously, should disclaim that. When does it start? It starts in T-1 hour,
Yeah.
Chris. T-1 hour!
We're on the clock. We got an hour, 58 minutes.
But all of that said, I want you guys maybe to probably drive this because obviously we won't be discussing any spoilers. Everybody's showing up. Let's go, guys. I'm so excited. Josh was here. Hey, Marcellus, let's go. And Chris as well. Yes, T-1 hour. So obviously I won't have filmed my reaction. That was a very much could not openly film, and they were very much making sure with, heightened security, there were ushers there the entire time making sure nobody filmed, obviously, understandably. So hopefully you guys understand that was kind of like, we kind of had missed out. We were still very salty that when they did something similar for mid-season of Ahsoka with the return of, Hayden Christensen, that episode got a theatrical release. We were a little bit late to the game versus this time I was luckily early enough to hop in, reserve some tickets, go wait in line. Thankfully, I had the means to go wait in line for 3 hours early, and there were already still people there because it wasn't guaranteed entry. So things worked out. We got super lucky. So I hope you guys understand that, we made the decision to go and be able to watch that on the big screen. So I won't have my reaction to the first 2 episodes. However,
But
we did a miniature-esque. It's really not much of a vlog, but we took a little bit of clips before and after while we were there, got our immediate raw thoughts right out of the theater, and unusually on this channel, atypically, in a interesting, fun fashion, something you guys don't usually get is Tom's fresh review and commentary as well. So we did come back here and sat down and filmed and recapped our thoughts. I'm a bit behind here, so Charlie, thank you so much. Happy birthday, Tom.
Charlie!
Legends are born in June. You've got a package inbound. What the frick? Oh, my shnikes.
Charlie,
Oh, my goodness.
you, sir, are too kind, sir. And I know there's a bunch of other people saying happy birthday in the chat. You all are too kind for reaching out and wishing happy birthday. No, we really appreciate it. It warms my heart.
Oh, my God.
And to be honest, I couldn't think of a better way to spend it than the release of The Acolyte, hanging out T-minus 56 minutes with all of you guys,
I can't
hyping it up, talking about it.
That's a really good sign that we've seen it already, and I still cannot freaking wait. I'm still so excited.
Yeah, so it's a birthday well spent,
Yes.
for sure. And should we dive into the show now? Spoiler free dive into the show.
I kind of want to hear from everyone else as well. So many of you have showed up. We haven't had this many viewers. I guess everyone's excited.
Yeah.
We haven't seen so many of you guys. This is not me shaming, by the way, but it's just like I'm honestly a little shocked because Danny opened us up with the good energy here, but obviously there's been a lot surrounding this show. The Rotten Tomato scores came out today. It's got a critics review, I think, of certified fresh 86%. But the audience reviews, even though the show has yet to premiere on Disney Plus, are already getting kind of review bombed. So there's already we're no stranger to the internet here, folks. So there's an era already surrounding this show. So I kind of wanted to hear from everyone here as well, because I know I personally don't even like listening to spoiler-free reviews sometimes, personally, so I don't want to subject everyone to a stream full of that the entire time, especially because we did film our thoughts after the fact, and we might just be reiterating a lot of the same things. That video, I'm in the process of editing. I didn't want to post it beforehand, even though I don't think we discussed any spoilers in our
No, it's totally spoiler-free.
reaction.
We didn't
So,
discuss any
yeah.
spoilers.
So, but for the sake of not repeating ourselves entirely, well, obviously, we'll talk about it. Don't worry.
Well,
but
I think we can give our overall thoughts
yes,
on what we were thinking and what our excitement level is.
True, but I want to hear from everybody else as well. Firstly, Julian, thank you so much.
Julian!
Also, you guys always get so generous when it's somebody's birthday here. You do not have to feel compelled.
You guys are too
or obligated by any means, truly. But thank you so much. That's so freaking generous of you guys.
Yeah. Thank you, Julian. That is very generous of you, and it means a lot. The fact that you guys are here supporting and hanging out and chatting, and the fact that anyone is willing to contribute monetarily in any type of way is still mind-blowing to the both of us.
For real.
Because if we weren't streaming live, it would be the two of us sitting down
talking
over dinner, talking to each other.
Which we still do, but this way we get to just share it with you guys.
That way we can come together as a gang and, Star Wars gang it up and talk about it. Is so awesome. It's incredible. So I haven't actually seen the Rotten Tomato scores. So the fact that you bring those up is very interesting.
Let me double check, but I believe that's what Rotten Tomatoes posted earlier today on X. I'll call it by its proper name now.
Because I will say right out of the gate that the first 2 episodes of this show are spectacular.
83%. I correct myself. I
83%
gave it
audience or critic.
That was the critic score, I believe.
Okay.
No, as I mentioned, the audience score is already being a little bit rated. So we're not going to talk about that. But this is also to say, I know a lot of you guys have voiced that this is new territory. Like, a lot of people have mixed opinions about this, are going in not necessarily skeptical, but curious. There's a lot to be curious about with the show. So this is not to say if it's not your cup of tea, if you're not excited, if you're just here to hang out and you're absolutely not interested in the show at all, please don't feel like we're discouraging you from sharing your opinions. The premature review bombing that we're referring to is from you guys. You guys don't need a reminder. The people on the internet who just want to hate for fun. So,
well, there's a line between hating for fun and hating it because you actually hate it and you don't like it. And I'll be the first to say that when stuff comes out, I'm generally on the more skeptical side and cautiously optimistic side. And I usually sympathize with a lot of the comments and feedbacks that are critiquing certain creative decisions and whatnot that ends up happening in the show. But in this particular case, where we are right now, after seeing the first 2 episodes, as someone who my hype did not increase after seeing the main trailers. I thought that the main trailers were a little underwhelming.
True. You were so not enthused when the first trailers came out.
It was a little underwhelming. Like, okay, for a story about the Jedi and this emergence of this dark side threat, like they were setting up like the mystery and Jedi are dying and yada yada, but it wasn't like, okay, I'm way through the roof excited to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, you weren't sold just yet.
But let me tell you, after watching the first 2 episodes, it was pedal to the metal. Just building this story, the intrigue of what is going to happen is driving me crazy. I haven't stopped thinking about it. And the character development and the world building and the tone and even the humor, like the humor was spot on. Like every comedic moment I thought was genuinely funny. It was not like shoehorned in there, slapstick, like taking you out of the experience. Like not a single thing for both episodes took me out at any point. I was locked in. All the way through for the whole thing. And it was just going. Like there was no deviation from the main story. It was all just, here's the story. We're going full throttle. The tone is incredible. The mystery surrounding what's going on is incredible. All the characters are incredible. The acting's phenomenal. The score is incredible. I'm all on board train. Fully on board the train. And in my opinion, the marketing leading up to it did not set it up, did not set the expectations to where I think they're at now after seeing the first 2 episodes. Like, I'm on board.
I'm gonna disagree. Like, yes, the initial trailer was, of course, very vague, not revealing everything in their deck of cards. You can't reveal your hand too early. So I don't disagree that the initial teasers were nothing necessarily, in my mind, nothing compares to that original Kenobi trailer, like when you hear Duel of the Fates, like the initial Acolyte trailer didn't necessarily get me anywhere near as hype as that, but I do think they have, I'm sure you guys have observed this as well. Somebody working at Star Wars marketing must have freaking heard me screaming into the ether that my one complaint that I will be vocal about is that I feel like Star Wars marketing has not been up to par, and somebody must have heard that and been like, all right, frick you, Catherine. Because every single day. So, yes.
The TV spots and everything definitely set the stage more to reality of what the actual show is, with the tone, darker music. Like, a lot of the TV spots that they've been releasing have been for me have been incrementally increasing
generating
my hype
a lot more
for the show.
And there's a new one every single day. I don't know what they have done. Perhaps it's because they know that this is such an uncharted new time period. There is a lot of skepticism and just general curiosity. Again, that is not a bad thing. It's not bad to be curious. I feel I've compared it to when we were going in pretty much blind for Mandalorian, having no idea what we were in for. It's a very similar state. So I don't blame them for really ramping up the marketing in that regard to try to start garnering some familiarity here and get the ball rolling. Also, hello, so many other people have joined. I think we missed another super chat from Nicholas Brown. Thank you so much.
Nicholas!
Thank you so very much. Welcome. Great to see you. The Stanleys have since joined. Nathaniel Williams, Josh, of course, Nathan. Who else did I see? Jordan France. Long live the expanded universe. May the force be with everyone. God bless. Nathaniel Williams. I'm skeptical of the show. We will see. Still for the ride, can still go back to the old Clone Wars animated movies 1 through 6, and some Rebels as well. We will see. At least it's not coming out at 2 a.m. For some of you now, it is though. I know that
in Europe.
Yeah. For us Americans, it's no longer. Thankfully. Europeans, I'm so sorry.
Yep.
I'm hyped as a fan of the High Republic and the Sith, says Lord Fel.
Nicholas, thank you very much for that super chat. You are too generous. Too generous, man. That's means a lot. Thank you.
Shout out to the mods who are already having to clear out some of the... Yeah, it's going to be a wild ride here. Strap in, folks, in the comments section for the next few weeks as we're covering this show.
Yeah.
Much appreciation in advance to the moderators who, I think our TikTok / YouTube short that went live today, we were talking about the Acolyte, and immediately the comments weren't great.
Bombed.
Somebody one of the mods, whoever you were, who were banning them, thank you. Thank you, and just appreciate many thanks in advance. We appreciate you putting in the work to clear that out from here on until the end of this show.
In this case, it's hard for me to wrap my head around, because what we saw yesterday, and granted people haven't seen it yet, so maybe it would calm down.
I hope we can only hope one more hour, y'all.
As someone who's usually pretty sympathetic to a lot of the criticism, like a lot of the typical criticism that would happen, like I didn't feel any of that at all watching the show at all. Like, I mean, there's a lot of women. It didn't pull me out of it for 1 second. Like it's a women-dominated show, I think.
I would disagree. It's
not even a factor. Like watching it, like you're not even thinking about it.
It's a giant cast. It's a giant mix.
Yeah.
It doesn't cross your mind at all. And you make a really good point. 45 minutes from now, we will hopefully see this show. This is not. I don't want this to sound like a blanket statement. Again, you are entitled to whatever opinion you guys have here, and I always want to have a conversation regardless of how you feel. And all of us have had disagreements in this community and not always been on the same page, and that's what I love so much about the channel here. Like, we're able to still have a healthy dialogue and still chat about these shows in a constructive way and never step on each other's toes or anything when it comes to sharing our opinions respectfully. So this is not to say that even if the show comes out tonight and you dislike it, you're part of the problem. That's not what I'm saying, but well, finally, my hope is that this show finally, after months of all of this build up and people knocking it and writing it off and not giving it a fair chance. I'm really hoping that you're right, that it will cease some of that.
Yeah,
I hope.
because I mean, after watching the show, like, I don't, I can't understand how people would feel that criticism and think that it is, that would be a majority opinion of the people watching the show. Because
Yeah.
as someone who is usually more pessimistic going into stuff,
You're not,
but not even
pessimistic
pessimistic, not
at
even
all.
pessimistic.
No, I would say you aren't pessimistic. You're a little more of a realist than I am. Obsession, what's up? What do you mean the POHs are vocalizing? Oh my gosh, POH, the pose, is a great term. From Star Wars Obsession, he was actually replaying Jedi Survivor in anticipation to kind of get re-exposed to the High Republic stuff that is kind of in that, because he made a really good point. I never thought of actually replaying that game as a precursor to the Acolyte to kind of pregame and get reacquainted with that time period. But Obsession made a good point that there's a lot of good High Republic lore in there that we might end up seeing in the show. But during that stream, we went on a whole conversation, in the chat talking about these outrage hunters. Personal outrage hunters is this term, the poos that Obsession has coined, and I think it's the perfect way to describe what has been, happening in online discourse when it comes to this show. I've never had so many interesting nonsense comments from people who clearly, never watch my videos, in my comment sections when I cover this show. And it's clear that people who have already resided themselves to not liking the series because, God forbid, there's women in it or a woman directing it, for whatever reasons. And they've made it their personal mission to go and seek out anyone who is excited and try to rain on that parade. So Obsession, that term, the POHs, personal outrage hunters, I think it's the perfect way to describe all that. And again, hopefully, and again, if people still have valid criticisms after the show comes out, I almost wanted to maybe postpone Dork Discourse this week, but of course we wanted to celebrate. It's Tom's birthday, the stars aligned, that it was the premiere, your birthday, Dork Discourse. So I didn't want to just not do it because there's still so much to talk about. But I almost wanted to do it again later this week to hear from everybody, after the show comes out, because I do think people will not interpret it differently, but I think it'll just strike a different chord with everybody.
Yeah, well, I think if anybody is dismissing the show for whatever reason before actually watching it and giving it a chance, then after the first two episodes, you're missing out, and they're just going to miss out on.
Yeah, I almost just feel bad for them.
Yeah, if you're just going to dismiss this because of whatever's happened before the release of the show, and it's going to get to you so much that you're not even going to watch it, then ultimately that's on you and it's your choice. But what we watched yesterday was fantastic, and I am fully on the train. And there was a great chat that is a perfect transition into today's sponsor. Alice asked, Kat,
you have to stop saying that because it sounds like we're doing actual ads, and there's actual laws about that you have to disclose. It's your business. It's literally but if you're acting like, all right, well, technically, I guess this is an ad for Catherine LaSalle.
It's you.
My artwork.
It's literally
Before we get to that, Obsession. Member for 28 months. Holy shnikes. Thank you so much, my friend. Happy birthday, Tom. The best part of the streams. Glad you guys like the Acolyte. Makes me hopeful that Tom likes it. Yes. Everybody kind of knows I'm not the best gauge when it comes, because Zach and Alex get me on this all the time that I just like everything because they worked hard on it. So I always give people points for hard work.
Yep.
So I'm not the best gauge, but
anything Star Wars, we like it, and we can find ways to enjoy it. But part of the fun in being so heavily invested into the fandom is talking about things we like, but then also things we don't like. And the things that we don't like are oftentimes humorous and not meant to personally offend anybody involved, but like the memes and you can form a community and bond over things that you like and things you don't like. So Obsession, I don't know what you mean by that last piece there. Makes me hopeful that I'm like it.
Because you're
I don't
usually
think
more
I'm
critical.
usually. I don't think I'm a hater by any means.
You're not, but you are usually, out of the two of us, I'd say you're more likely to have some valid critiques.
Yeah, critique is a nice word.
Yeah,
Not a hater.
you're not. No, nobody's saying you are.
No.
What was the comment that you saw though as a segue?
Alice asked if you were going to make any art for the
Oh,
show.
yeah. Speaking
So,
of, this was
speaking of,
today's task. So yes, you called it, Alice. This is the latest. This is the latest piece. You guys are the first to see it. I literally just finished it today. It's probably honestly still drying out there. But yeah, this one was just kind of like for fun and to share. I haven't posted on any socials yet, so you guys are the first ones to see it. As I said, it's freshly dried, but it's of course Master Soul and Amandla Stenberg in all their glory.
Yeah.
But I think we'll have this one available for prints on the website, and I took some time lapses as I usually do. But yeah, this one's fun. It was more experimentational. I was inspired by for the background, that poster that they initially released with the blood trail as the saber blade. I thought that was just the coolest thing ever. So I took a little bit of inspo from that to create that kind of streaky backdrop.
Yeah.
But yes, I believe this one is going to be available on the website. Originals available too if anyone wants to make an offer.
Yes. As soon as Dork Discourse is over, we'll get to work with adding that as an option on CaptainLaSalle.com. So website there at the bottom of the screen.
Same with editing.
Yeah.
Our reaction / initial thoughts. Again, I didn't really feel comfortable posting that earlier today, so we're gonna have that probably posted maybe at like 7 p.m. Pacific or something like that, after the episodes have dropped. So at that point, people will have been able to go and watch it. So,
Yes.
but yeah, there's been a lot of good stuff in the chat. I kind of want to hear.
Not a hater, Tom. Cat is a chill. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah,
For the right.
that's maybe a little bit more accurate. Somebody asked if we saw the third episode. No, we only went to see. They only screened the first two. Jerry says, hello, Catherine. Looking forward to the Acolyte. Me too. I'm happy to hear that. Lord Fowl says, it is ironic how a show about the dark side is getting so much hatred. Ironic.
Ironic.
Jason Olsen, I love this energy. Cat Tom, listen to me. No matter what, we all think of Acolyte. We are united Star Wars around the country and around the world until we are dead and cold. Skull indeed, Jason.
Yeah.
I love that passion.
Well said. And I think you were saying it well in the theater last night, just being around a theater packed full of, Star Wars fans just there enjoying the moment. Even in the theater, there was actually technical difficulties, and it took them a couple times to actually get the episodes running smoothly, but the energy was still good in the room. Everybody was still positive.
And everybody
it would have been
stayed.
very easy for people to just start, cursing and giving the workers a hard time and all this stuff. But no, it was positive the whole time. Everybody was laughing, having a good time.
Well, we should also say shout out to AMC Theaters, because they gifted us with vouchers each for admission for another film, which is incredibly generous. For we would have sat there till midnight if it took them that long to get it running, so we were camped out regardless. But yeah, no, it definitely, and this was again kind of sparked in Obsession's live stream this week. We were talking about how somebody made the best point in his chat. They said, you can't monetize hate in real life. Hate gets the clicks online.
Yeah.
But you would never be in a group of Star Wars fans hearing the same rhetoric that you hear online.
Yeah. Which
at
is why
all
I'm
in real
excited for
life.
you to go experience
finally
Celebration,
celebrate
because
everything.
Celebration is just the culmination of everything. And even the people who will be there that are generally having more negative spin on things, like the in-person like interactions and the way that people interact in person is is still going to be positive. Even if you have someone with a more negative channel, if they're going to go to Celebration, they're not going to go rip into people they see in person. You know, it's going to be fun and uplifting, and everybody's going to have a good time. And that's why Celebration is so interesting. And experiences like we had last night, with just being around a bunch of Star Wars fans who are just excited to be there and talk about the thing that they love, that is Star Wars, is a really awesome experience to have in person. So for everybody, you know, if you're fortunate enough to make it to a Star Wars Celebration one day, or go to a, you know, even go to Disney and go to Galaxy's Edge night, Star Wars night, whatever, just whatever convention, like, you know, even being online in you know Dork Discourse streams, obviously, for people who are here, but also other channels. There's plenty of other creators out there who, you know, have, you know, are just excited to be online, streaming, making videos, talking about Star Wars. So, you know, if you find yourself surrounded by hate and are tired of it, you know, those places exist on the internet. You have found one here where 99% of the time it's, you know, it's all just about sharing passion for the thing that we love, which is Star Wars and other things. So
yeah. Bob, this comment just literally made my night. Bob of the Old Ways says, excited for Acolyte, and then I made it to the chat. I listen to y'all on my bike commutes home, and I rarely get to participate. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Well, first off,
shout out Bob.
For watching and listening in spite of not being able, you know, I always give those shout outs at the end of the stream when we wrap up, you know, shout out to you even if you're here listening but not interacting in the chat for whatever reason it may be. We still appreciate you, but thank you for, it's great to see you and to know that you've been listening in the background all this time. Yeah. Thank you so much, Bob. Thanks for being here. And
props to you for biking to and from work.
For real, saving the planet and being an inspiration to us all.
Good for you.
Joel Jensen asks, you're an amazing artist. What would your dream job as an artist be? To just be one. Honestly,
to just be one.
Well, like a true dream for me would be, honestly, what I'm already doing, being able to make YouTube videos for a living and balance that with just making art and selling it and commissions and, you know, making customizable pieces for people. I have some commissions coming up to share on my pages as well. Some Star Wars, some not, that I've recently finished up, and that for me is like, it's hard to describe the feeling, you know, like when I work on a piece for somebody and then I ship it out to them and then they send me a message saying that, you know, describing or some people even will film talk about reactionception. Sometimes people film their reactions unboxing their paintings that they've received, you know, after I mail them. And that's just like the most amazing. It doesn't necessarily like click in my brain. Like even for some of you guys, Sean shared that you're sitting still between some of the prints that you've so kindly purchased, you know, from my website and whatnot. And even that is just like still such a crazy concept to wrap my head around, that like my artwork is sitting in some people's homes on some of your guys' walls that you look at every day, and it's something I feel like I almost take for granted. Like that doesn't always cross my mind, but when it does, it's like holy shnikes. So that's the dream.
The world too, not just in the United States, but internationally as well.
That is like the most wild thing when we get a print order and it'll say from like France or something. I'm like, oh my god, that's so cool. I start to fangirl. So that's the dream. Richard Taylor also says, first time being here in a little while, been sick with allergies and also working a lot. Well, shout out, Richard. Thanks for
welcome back.
Tuning back. I'm glad this is so much fun. I'm so glad we have 30 minutes out, folks.
T-minus 30.
30 minutes. I would love to hear from everybody. What are you guys most looking forward to about this show? I feel like, you know, we've talked a lot about it. Tom's shared his theories. I've shared that my most, you know, anticipated thing is just seeing, you know, breaking out of the Skywalker saga. This is, again, something, I feel like I'm stealing all of my talking points from your stream obsession the other day, but, you know, he made a really good point that, you know, so many people share a similar sentiment as I've been preaching. Like, I love Don't get me wrong, the current era of Star Wars in which we're, super entrenched in the Mandoverse, and they're really fleshing that out, and there's been great overlap, lots of development, but I am just thirsty for something different. So that's what I've been most excited about, going into the past, going anywhere, past, future, wherever it may be, as long as it's just branching off from what we currently know with the film, canon of Star Wars. And I actually kind of feel like a fool a little bit because I've been preaching and like begging for this while actively sleeping on the High Republic books, and I just started reading The Light of the Jedi, which I believe is the first one that they released. Listen, I know I'm extremely late. They're already on like phase 3 right now, and there's the novels. I didn't realize there's young adult like YA novels of the High Republic eras. There's comics, so I say that being so far behind. So I'm kind of like a little bit living in regret, living in Saltyville right now that I didn't start reading these things sooner. Because while yes, I'm super excited to see film and television wise something new that we have never seen before in Star Wars, that's never been conquered on the screen. There's still so much of this in the novelizations. As I'm reading, I'm like, gosh darn it, I've been out here begging for something new, and I could have just picked up one of these books.
Well,
so
it's not the same.
It's not, and
this is the first live action piece of Star Wars media ever in history of the brand, in the 45, 46, 48, 47 year history of this brand. The first live action project to take place before the Phantom Menace. So this is a huge milestone for what they are setting a precedent for here.
Yeah. No,
So.
in terms of the uncharted territory there alone, that's what I've been most excited about. So Alice says it's the Sith. It's all about the Sith. I can't wait to see more of what I've been looking for. Sean says, I'm not sure what I'm most excited about. And that's all right, because there's still so much about this show that is unknown to be curious about. Wait, what?
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to talk next week once everybody has seen it, or everybody who wants to see it has seen it. And, we can talk next week about who and what and where people are excited to see this thing go.
Shout out Julian for the print order. Sorry. Thanks, Julian. We get the real-time notifications.
Real-time print order.
So honored. And you ordered one of my favorite pieces, which I didn't realize was limited stock. That's what I was confused about. Afterlife.
Yeah, they're all limited stock.
I didn't realize that.
We gotta...
Well, thank you, Julian. Sorry, shout out. That was just a little live update. Thank you so much.
Shout out to you, Julian. Again, for anybody who may not know, Catherine is an artiste by trade, and a lot of the art on the back wall there is hers. So if you go to CatherineLaSalle.com, you can see art that she has created, both that's available for purchase and what is not. But also, if you're looking for a custom piece of art and you have an idea of something that you would like to be created, there's a commission section there, so you can add in some details and submit, and then it'll ultimately get back to the artiste here for a custom piece of art. So, anyway.
Continuing on,
Yes.
Josh says, I'm excited for this show. Never read any of the books from this era, so it's all going to be new to me. Yeah, no, I literally kind of very late to the game, like this time last week, was like, maybe I should read one of the High Republic books. So I've only just started, so I literally don't know anything about this era.
Yeah,
Seeing the Jedi.
But the good thing is, you don't need to. Like, I mean, the only High Republic experience that we have is, Jedi Survivor and Dagon and exploring that.
That's true.
The plot thread there and the characters there. But outside of that, we haven't read anything. We don't know anything. We're going in pretty blind too. But watching it, it's like, I mean, it's set up in a way where you could kind of jump right in and you don't instantly have a million questions about how things are structured and what the state of the galaxy is. Like, the way that they build the world and jump you in and and run the plot through the episode, it's all done in a masterful way where you're not getting sidetracked asking about, type of bigger picture, logistical world building type questions. So, I mean, I feel like going in, I don't feel like
No, it's not like
a handicapped
necessary
experience not having read any of the books or anything
reading
like
it
that.
all. Yeah, no, I think they've made it pretty clear, especially listening to the cast interviews as well, expressing that this is a really good starting point for anyone looking, if this show attracts new fans and if someone's never watched any of the Disney Plus other, shows, or even if they've never watched Star Wars before, if they start with this, show, they've all kind of shared that sentiment that this is a great entry point. So that, to me, reiterates that you don't need to be privy at all to the High Republic, novelizations and all the lore that's already been established in the books. But hopefully, if anything, hopefully this show will help continue to garner interest for that, and the High Republic as an era and all of that written material will just like flourish with popularity. But Richard Taylor is excited to see the Jedi in a new light.
Yep.
Elwood Blues says, I'm hoping that the show is darker than most of the other series. Agreed. Especially since it's going to be Sith-centric, as they've expressed, Leslie Headland has said. So I'm excited to see the past, says Blue Winter. DJ just says, exciting! Exclamation point, indeed. Derek Casper, what's up? What's up? I've been reading more Star Wars novels, and the audiobooks are great too. I'm in the same boat, Blue Winter. Like, I feel like I've been sleeping on so many of these books, and the audiobooks are full-fledged productions. They're really incredible. I will say, I think I prefer the act of actually reading. Like, I think I retain more when I read it visually with my eyes, but either way, the audiobooks, they cast amazing narrators and voice actors.
No way. No way. No way.
Wait.
Star Wars admin is lurking in the chat right now.
Wait.
No. I don't know about that. Is that Swagman in the flesh in the chat?
No freaking way. Stop. I'm embarrassing myself now. Star Wars graced us with their presence. This is a first for us, you guys. What the frick? Oh my god. Holy shnikes.
Well.
My face is just turning so red. Holy smell.
Whoever you are, actually, Swagman, Star Wars admin, Star Wars account, whoever just typed that message in, you know it. You know it.
Achievement unlocked? Frick yes. Stop.
Well, thank you very much. And thank you and the rest of your colleagues and everybody that you may work with on a regular basis for creating such a, so far, after seeing the 2 episodes, we went and saw a screening at the, in LA last night. After watching it, I mean, masterful work by the whole team. I mean, across the board, incredible. Yeah.
I just lost all decorum. Any credibility I had for having any sliver of composure just went down the drain. Star Wars, holy shit!
Yeah.
Achievement unlocked. This is the best thing since sliced bread, says Alice. I have to agree. I can't believe this.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's
We're never gonna top
awesome.
this.
Yeah.
This is our peak. This is officially the best birthday ever.
Should we just end the channel now?
We're never gonna get better than this, guys.
Go into retirement.
We have to retire now. Oh my shnikes. God, I'm so embarrassed. I just reverted back to like a child. Woo! Who's going to Celebration in Japan? Asks Derek. We are, thank gosh. So freaking excited. This is gonna be my first one. I'm desperately trying to, even though now that y'all just saw how I am, my true colors, y'all are about to be like, I don't know if I want to meet Catherine IRL. That is a mic drop moment, Charlie. For real, how do we just move on from that? How do we just graduate from that?
Yeah.
Whew. June is the month of legends. For real. This cannot be...
Hot start to June.
Yeah.
We're 4 days in, and it's been a pretty hot start to June.
Can't wait to meet you all. Star Wars. Can I not wait to meet you?
If we have the opportunity to meet you, we would love to meet you. Collective Star Wars organization as a whole. Hanging out in Tokyo in about 11 months. What? 11 months? 10 months? So thanks for being part of our galaxy.
Yeah.
Thanks for creating the galaxy. Thanks for continuing on the legacy of George Lucas and continuing to create content so that all of us, both the two of us and everybody here hanging out and everybody all over the planet can continue to enjoy the world that we all love so much. So, shout out to you. Big shout out to you.
Shout out to Tom for doing all the talking right now since I've gone mute. Star Wars, this is me trying to play it cool right now. Star Wars. I'm talking to Star Wars.
Dear Star Wars. Comma.
Star Wars, the entity, thank you so much. I can't even tell you how much you mean to me. You're amazing. And speaking to you as an individual, not just the entity that is Star Wars. Swagman, you freaking rock. Thank you. And thank you for all the work you've done just in the community and the fandom and just the interaction to help garner the excitement and hype for this show. There's so much that the fandom feels so alive right now. Like it's so great. And that's why I can't wait to go to Celebration and be able to, by the time we reach that, T-1 year out, we're all going to have watched this show and Skeleton Crew and other things too. There's others in the pipeline.
Mandalorian and Grogu, the movie that is Star Wars. When's that coming out?
They can't share everything.
Honestly, I forget if
hey,
there
new
was
bestie,
a
Star
release
Wars.
date for that. I forget if they had a release date for Mandalorian and Grogu film.
I'm not exactly sure. But regardless, just to be able to then, it's crazy to think that a year from now we're going to be celebrating this show in its entirety. I low-key really want to get, Jedi cosplay so bad.
No?
So badly. On top of the Borgullet cosplay, which we already advertised to you guys, we are currently enlisting if you would like to be a tentacle in our Borgullet cosplay. That's right. This is kind of a joke, but...
No, that's right. We did hype up, I forget what stream it was. We totally did hype up the Borgullet cosplay. I don't know how many tentacles that thing has, but however many tentacles,
the whole body,
one person each,
like a lot.
Maybe a couple people for the head. We need someone with the motor control
Someone's
features.
got to operate the wheels.
Yeah. And then someone's got to be on the mic making the audio. Whatever gargling that thing does.
Yeah. But other than that, I really want to get Jedi robes so badly. It was also at our screening last night at the theater, there were people there dressed. They had their robes on, they had their lightsabers. I was like, gosh, they're just the coolest. They're just so cool.
Yeah. Some people were dressed to the nines last night in different outfits and stuff. It was very cool. It was Celebration-esque in terms of the energy and the different outfits and everything that people were wearing. And then, even if people just wearing shirts, it's just so cool seeing all the cool, creative shirts that people have. And, some are hilarious, some are just awesome. And the perk about Celebration is that there's a million different things that are there. So you can literally find the perfect Star Wars merchandise that is built straight for you.
I'm so excited.
All right. Well, we're
Daddy Josh, welcome.
T-minus 15 minutes from episode drop.
Will you be dressed as Padme Cat? And if so, which outfit? Listen, I want to. Here's the thing, y'all. Cosplay is expensive. So I've been reviewing her wardrobe, her greatest hits, and trying to see which one would be the most doable. I think a good go-to and one that's a pretty good... Listen, I don't know the first friggin' thing about cosplay, so I could be talking absolute nonsense right now, but I feel like, from what I can gauge, a good entry point is the Attack of the Clones arena outfit, you know, the white on white. You get those scratches on the back for some detail, you know, the ripped sleeve action and whatnot.
You did that for Halloween, like 6 years ago.
I did, and it was like
7 years ago.
It was like the what I ordered versus what I got, you know, type meme situation. I literally was wearing like white jeans. I had you draw on my back with a lipstick. Like the scratches I had, like it wasn't the greatest, but you could tell what I was. If I'm gonna show my face at cosplay, I got at Celebration, where there's gonna be professionals, I have to step it up. So we'll see. To be determined, but
you have a nice handmaiden.
I know, I do. So we'll see. We shall see. But yes, Borgullet is still on the docket, so stay tuned, folks. We'll have rehearsals to maneuver.
Yeah, we'll all meet in Tokyo a week prior for Borgullet rehearsals.
This is a joke, by the way.
Is it?
I don't know. So much work and yes, money. Yes, Daddy Josh. Cosplay is not cheap, which is why I wish I was better at fabrication, the actual manufacturing. I always praise Cal Westis. I don't think he's here today, but you guys know him. Wes, who plays Cal in the like Jedi Fallen Order fan films that I've reacted to here on the channel. He's awesome, and he like actually like makes and 3D prints, and I've always praised, like, he has these great tutorials of him like hand, you know, painting, like, and sharing his techniques for how he literally designs from scratch. You know, he does a lot of like Mandalorian or like Boba Fett armor cosplay, and his stuff is awesome. Not to mention he can wield a lightsaber like a champ, so maybe I'll go lurk on his channel and see how he does it. But yes.
Yeah. So we're 12 minutes out. How's everybody feeling?
And actually, for some of you, it could be less than 12 minutes because it's been a while since we've done like Dork Discourse pregame streams before an episode would drop. But many times the episode would drop differently. For some people, remember Charlie would sometimes, it would be like 10 minutes early. Yeah. And he'd be like, episode's out for me. Yeah. And we'd all be like, how? But then slowly everyone would peel off because they'd be refreshing their Disney Plus. So for some of you, keep refreshing. Yeah. It could be any minute now.
That's true. It could be out right now. Maybe it is.
I'm so freaking excited. Yeah. Oh my god. It's gonna... I truly hope Star Wars continues to do these theatrical releases. One, for the benefit of just being able to... As great as the internet is, to have the fandom, like, you know, and for someone who does, you know, YouTube and is trying to step up my content creation and whatnot and be more interactive and stuff in the corners of the fandom, I forget that there's life outside of that. There's real life, other actual Star Wars fans out there. So just even for the sake of being able to meet other fans, have a good time, and experience new material with people, and but, you know, also just to be able to watch Star Wars on the big screen, you know, I'm so excited to watch the episodes again, but I'm just like, I wish every week we could just go to the theater and check this out. But that's still to say, you know, yeah. I'm so, yes, we were lucky enough to see it, and shout out again for them for doing that pre-screening. Like, I hope they continue to do that.
Last Jedi Luke just got punched in the face on accident, but
I hope they continue to do that, but regardless, I'm still so stoked to rewatch. I'm still excited. I'm still 10 out of 10 locked in.
I mean, we're watching them again tonight,
obviously, right? Okay. No question about it.
Setting that expectation straight.
Zach,
we're gonna watch it again.
What's happening?
So yeah, we got 10 minutes left here. We got to get a poll in.
Oh yes, quick.
Julian asked about the poll. We didn't forget. We didn't forget. Of course, there's going to be a poll. But yeah, I mean, we could just do generic, or we could do a little more detailed. But I feel like, we'll if this one isn't if this doesn't satisfy the itch, then maybe we'll do two. Maybe we'll do two poll. We'll start off with a nice feeler poll to see how people are feeling.
Poll positions. Yes, apologies. Sorry everybody for the Luke violence there. Oh, this is generic. This is kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah, well, this kind of summarized the whole stream, and I know we were talking about like reviews and whatnot in the beginning and ratings and all that stuff. And did I spell it right? No.
No.
So this is good to just gauge what everybody's feeling. So super basic.
But that said,
you excited for the Acolyte?
Speaking of reviews, stay tuned because later tonight I will post our video of our first thoughts and our process heading over to the theater last night and whatnot. So our review, we touched a little bit on some points today, but our full actual review will be posted later this evening, maybe after a solid bit of wiggle room / safe window when the embargo has lifted. I guess that's the new term I've seen on Twitter all day long, people talking about the embargo period and being lifted, and then you can safely discuss spoilers and whatnot. So as we mentioned earlier, we didn't really, our initial review, we don't focus too much on spoilers per se, but if you guys want me to do another more detailed review in which we do discuss spoilers, or who knows, maybe we'll do a little mini surprise stream perhaps.
I mean, at the very least, next week, a week from now, for Dork Discourse next week,
we will be discussing. True.
We'll be getting ready for episode.
We're not going to have Dork Discourse next week. Yeah, there might not actually be enough. You could host. That might be interesting. Can your computer handle it?
You'll have that, right?
Can your computer handle it? Maybe stay tuned, because Tom might actually be hosting his own Dork Discourse next week. Who knows?
Potentially.
For reasons I won't be. So, but regardless, we have so much time that we're going to be talking about this show from here on out. Tonight is the inaugural kickoff. Acolyte era is here, but fear not. I'm still going to be this week starting Legend of Korra. Book 3. We have some other movie reactions. I think next on the docket is going to be Mad Max. Sorry, I had to think for a second. My brain short-circuited. I think Mad Max is next up. So members, stay tuned because I might be doing that Thursday. I know that's like it's going to be at a random time this week, but regardless, a new membership perk is that you get access to my unedited reaction footage, which I do as a live stream / watch party situation. I of course don't stream the actual media that we're watching, but that will be available if you can't join live. That's still accessible for the members. So stay tuned for that later this week, folks. But yes, in spite of, we're kicking off the age of the Acolyte here, but we're still gonna keep up with our other fun content and whatnot. And holy smokes, actually, This is the wave has started, because we're getting Acolyte, and then it's gonna be like House of the Dragon, and then it's gonna be
Rings of Power
So
Season 2.
Summer of Nerddom is here.
Yeah.
And most of us are excited here. 88% hype for the Acolyte.
Yep.
So we're 5 minutes out. For some of you, the episode might have already dropped. Might be already out, potentially. Everybody refresh your Disney Plus.
Yep, queue up Disney Plus, start refreshing.
I think the episode is out for some of you guys. Daddy Josh is peacing out. Charlie, thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes.
Julian says, yes, Tom, host the stream next week. That would be really interesting.
Listen, I would be all for doing it, but people are going to come in and be like, where's Kat? Who's this oaf hosting the stream? Like, what's going on? Where's Kat? Yada, yada. So, like, maybe what we could do is just do a big like McBotch stream or something.
Oh, on your channel
in place. So that way, it's if you are aware of McBots and you're subscribed or not, it's a gaming channel that my brother and I have, and Kat will occasionally chime in and play with us. So maybe we do a dedicated McBots channel, and if for anybody here who's looking for Dork Discourse or something to fill that void, then we could do it on that channel over here. But like if I take over this channel and it's just me, like for a couple of times we've done it in the past, and with the Mando what happened to Grogu theory video, that was literally just like kind of, I had this theory and Kat gave me the reins to the channel and post it and make a video, and like it was a lot of great feedback and people were interested, but the other half of the feedback was, who is this?
Some people
who is
don't know that we're married, so we still sometimes get comments like, is he your brother or a friend? And I'm like, no. Thanks, Sean, for plugging McBots there. Yes, perhaps stay tuned for that next week. Bye for real, says Daddy Josh. Have fun watching.
Yes.
Have fun. Enjoy the episode. Oh my god, this is so exciting. It's happening. It's real, y'all. And it's not midnight for those of us in the United States.
Yes.
European friends are elsewhere if you are in a time zone in which this release is not necessarily favorable. I am sorry, but for us, it's quite nice.
Yes, it is very nice. So for everybody watching, hope you all are excited. I mean, 88% of you are. So for everybody watching, hope you enjoy. And we will definitely be talking more about it in the coming weeks.
I
as
can't
the show
wait.
Continues to progress.
Shout out again, mods, for keeping this a safe, clean space, respectful space. Shout out to all you guys. Thanks for the turnout tonight, everybody. This was so much fun. Star Wars is alive and well, baby. Take care, Kat and Tom and everyone. Thank you, DJ. Thanks for tuning in. Jason Olsen, this has been a very special Acolyte edition. Tuesday Fun Day, Dork Discourse chat room party, baby. Come out and join Tom and Kat next time. Skull. Thank you, Jason, for the amazing. One of these days, I am gonna rename the stream to that. This podcast will be named the Dork Discourse chat room party, baby. I think that's unique. No one would steal that, except I'm gonna steal that from you. But after that, see you guys. Time to watch this. Thanks for watching, Derek. Enjoy the episode. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited, everybody.
T-minus 2 minutes.
Excited to see what happens.
Go, Tom, folks.
Bye, Big Preston. Thanks for being here. May the force be with all of us always. Amen, Jason. Take care, everyone. Bye. Thank you, Julian. Thanks for being here. Thank you for your, I think you super chatted and purchased a print. Literally, thank you so much. Means the absolute world to me. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go, says Yoal. Indeed. Good night, everyone, and happy birthday, Tom. Thanks, Josh.
Yes, thank you all for the birthday wishes. Again, couldn't think of a better way to spend it than hanging out, talking Star Wars, and we've got the release of a show in 1 minute.
So with that, folks, we will sign off. Thank you guys so much for hanging out.
And shout out to Swagman.
Oh my god, yes.
We're glossing over that, but that literally was a historic milestone for both of our lives and everybody here. So thank you all for being a part of that, because we're gonna hang up.
We're gonna clip that,
and then we're gonna go freak out for the rest of the night.
Immediately clip that.
And yeah, that's awesome. So
Jesse Meek sending us out with one final super chat. Thank you so much. I tried reading the book when it came out, couldn't finish it. Oh no. And this is from a guy who read War and Peace twice. Is this in regards to the High Republic? I'm sorry to hear.
Is it the High Republic book?
I'm sorry to hear that it wasn't enjoyable, but Star Wars has so many books, and the audiobooks I truly cannot recommend enough. They are full-fledged productions. They literally have incredibly talented narrators and voice actors who do the voices. They sound just like the characters. They will modulate like the droid voices. They get sound effects. They play the John Williams score. They're truly incredible. So I would highly recommend if perhaps reading it, the High Republic, which is totally fine if that wasn't your cup of tea. I know there's so many other books. Thank you for the super chat, for sending us out. Love being here, says Sean. We love that you're here. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing this awesome community with us. And on that note, it's 6 p.m. on the dot.
It's time. But also, Jesse, just because you didn't like the book, don't dismiss the show.
Oh yes,
definitely go give the show a chance, because I mean, neither of us have read anything High Republic whatsoever, and the first 2 episodes were fantastic when we watched them last night. So I would say give it a shot. But if it's not for you, it's not for you, and then watch what you like. And if you haven't seen Revenge of the Sith, highly recommend. Great film. Maybe that's your cup of tea. It's my cup of tea. It's a lot of people's cup of tea.
On that note, It's
Anyway,
officially out, folks.
yes.
Time it is. May the force be with you guys. Enjoy the Acolyte.
time.
Can't wait to regroup with you guys later. We'll see you guys in our review where we share our thoughts. Hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll see you guys again very, very soon.
Yes, enjoy. Happy
And-
release day.
Yes. And happy birthday, Tom. May the force be with you guys. We'll see you guys again soon. Bye, friends.
What just happened?
Oh, I didn't mute yet.